Good morning, everyone. I'm Sachin Gupta, the co-founder and CEO at Hackerearth. I graduated from IIT Roorkee Computer Science and worked at Google for about 3.5 months and then co-founded Hackerearth. Over the last 4.5 years, I've done a lot of things at my company, from writing code to selling to customers to even sweeping the floors at times. But my number one responsibility till today is to sell dreams. I sell dreams every day to each and every employee in our company, the 120 people. Dreams that inspire them to go out and change the world. Dreams that inspire them to be big, to be different. I've been invited here today to sell a dream to you. And before I talk about that dream, I want to show you something. The image that you see on the screen is from my dorm room 2012. F142 Azad Bhavan, IIT Roorkee. This is when we had started working on Hackerearth. As you can see, it's a whiteboard. We were so penniless, and I assume all of the college students here are in the same boat. We were so penniless that we could not afford a whiteboard, and we had to make do with chart papers and scotch tape. We were not only broke, but we knew nothing. We had no clue about how to start up. We had no idea of what starting up means, what is forming a company. But we did have one thing. We had this almost mind-numbing, blinding passion. The passion that led us to believe that we could do whatever we dreamt of. Fast forward 4.5 years. This is what Hackerearth is. 120 employees, offices in 3 locations across the country, more than 1,000 customers across the globe, 1.2 million users on our platform, and we are doing early single-digit $1 million in revenue. Almost everything has changed. Of course, we are not broke anymore. And we do have a sense of where we are heading, what we are doing. But that mind-numbing, blinding passion continues to be there. The passion that drove us to be what we are today continues to be there. For us, the dream was that we wanted to start up. Over the last 4.5 years, a lot of times people have come and spoke to me and asked me, what does it mean to start up? So today, I thought about structuring, breaking down the process of what a startup is into a structured format. I believe a lot of you would have seen this talk by Simon Sinek, where he talks about the golden circles, the 3 golden circles. Any organization, any movement, any project, India's independence, Apple success story, whatever you can think of, can be broken down into these 3 stages. The what, the how, and the why. And he talks about why the why is probably the most important thing. But let me touch upon all these 3 when it comes to starting up. The what, in my personal opinion, is probably the easiest thing to define. It's straightforward. No one else can come and tell you what to do in your startup. You know it. You feel it every day. You have faced that problem and you need to believe in it. No one else can come and sell you their dream and ask you to build on top of their dream. It has to be your dream. There's only one thing that you need to take care of, that you have to be mindful of when it comes to the what. And that is, you need to solve a real problem. And that's the only thing that matters. In your entire journey of starting up, the only thing that matters is the problem. The code you write, the solution you build, the service that you make, all of it can go away. All of it can change, it can go away as long as you are true to the problem and you're solving the problem. So it has to be a real problem, a problem that impacts, if not millions, at least thousands of people all across the world. The other thing that you have to be mindful of is that execution is always greater than idea. Everybody has an idea. There are 100 people sitting in this room. Each one of us got 10 different ideas. But let me give you a hard fact. Whatever idea that you have thought of over the last so many years, there's always been probably 100 people all across the globe who have thought of the same idea. Google wasn't the first search engine. Facebook wasn't the first social network. But as of today, it seems that both of them are definitely the last. So it doesn't matter whether you're first in the race. It matters whether you're last. if you stand there when everyone else has fallen apart. So execution is the most important thing. Your idea is actually worth nothing. Good teams, great teams, passionate people can turn around bad ideas into amazing success. So execution is far, far, far more important than idea. So the what part is fairly straightforward. But I want to talk a little bit about how. And it brings to the same thing that I said a couple of minutes ago. We had nothing in our pockets. We were penniless, we were broke, we were directionless, we had no guidance. We knew absolutely nothing even about coding. I learned how to code while working on our startup in our college. But we had this belief. And I believe your belief is the biggest difference between success and failures. More dreams have died not because of lack of resources, capabilities, but because of lack of belief. Because we tell ourselves that we cannot do it. And the moment we tell ourselves that we cannot do it, that's the end of the dream. You need to believe in yourself, because there will be times in your journey of your startup when you will feel helpless, when you're going to feel hopeless. And it is at that time that your belief is going to help you rise up and try one more time. The second thing that you need to do is fairly tactical. You need to have a good team. You need to have the right people around you. And I think your college is the best time to find your team. You're blessed to be among one of the smartest people in the country. The best thing about IITs is your peer network, because it's the only place, probably in your entire life, where you can walk into the room and be afraid that you're not the smartest person in the room. Before IIT and after my IIT, I've never felt the same. There's always this sense, okay, probably I might be the smartest person in the room, and you don't want to be in that situation. You don't want to be the smartest person in the room, because you're never going to learn if you're always the smartest person in the room. So this is probably the best time to find your team. And good teams, strong teams, as I said, can turn around bad ideas into amazing successes. You will fall numerous times in this journey of your startup. You'll feel like crying, you'll feel like giving up. The only thing that matters at that point of time is the attitude of your team. Nothing else is in your control. The competition, the external factors, what happens to the funding scenario, what happens to this country. God forbid if we get somebody like Trump here, then maybe the startup scene changes altogether. But your team is the only constant factor. And the third thing is to prepare for the grind. It is going to be one of the most excruciating, and literally the journey of a startup is going to change you. I would like to quote Ben Horowitz here. Of those who have not heard of him, please go and check out what he does and who he is. In his 9 to 10 years old journey of a startup, he said this beautiful line. He said, throughout those 10 years, I slept like a baby. He was the founder and CEO. And what he meant was that he woke up every 2 hours and cried. And that's what starting up means. Even till today, I wake up in the morning and sometimes I cry, literally, because it takes so much out of you. The startup journeys takes so much out of you that you have to prepare yourself for the grind. It's going to literally change you. A transformation takes place if you survive what is called as a startup. So I believe these are the three things that you need to have, you need to know to define the how. But the most important thing is why. Why should I start up? Because you never lose. You either win or you learn. In the last 4.5 years of our journey of Hackerearth, there hasn't been a single day when I haven't thoroughly enjoyed stepping into the office. We've lost numerous times. We've cried numerous times. I would like to tell you a small story. After 2 years of working day in and day out, when we started, we didn't have Sundays. There were no Saturdays, there was no Sundays. It was seven days working week and 15 hours a day. It's almost as tough as preparing for the IITs. And 2 hours of working on the product, 2 years of working on the product, 2 years of this grind, we finally have sight on our first customer. I had been chasing this customer for more than 9 months. Our first major customer. This we believe was going to be the path-breaking moment, the watershed moment in the journey of our company. And we all prepared for it, and we have a product which is used for technical assessments. And we all prepared for it. All of us were monitoring the systems. We had made sure that everything was working fine. Before that, 3 days we had been working non-stop. And they go in and use the platform to conduct a test at one of the institutes. And you know what? As soon as the test starts, the system fails. 2 hours of working on the product, 3 days of non-stop making sure that it works. It failed the moment it started. It failed. And we cried. We literally cried. There were 5 people in the team. We went up on the floor, went up on the roof, and we cried because we could not bear the failure that we were seeing in front of us. We had a choice to make then. We could succumb to this failure and give up. First customer, 2 years, everything was dependent on this success. Or we could fight. And we fought. Today, as I said, we have 1,000 customers all across the globe. So you never lose. You always win or you learn, and you learn to be better. And that's why I ask you to do something, because this journey is not only going to take so much out of you, but it is also going to give you so much back to you. You're going to learn so much. And I think more than money, more than fame, the learning that we get is probably the most exhilarating feeling that you can experience. And the whole point is in the journey. It's not about where we will end up being, whether it's a $100 million success, whether it's a $1 billion success, or whether it's a $10 million success. All of that is secondary. We did not start with that belief. Of course, when we started, we had our eyes set on this $100 million exit. Today, I don't even care about that. We will be what we will be if we continue doing what we are doing. But the point is in the journey. Every day is a new day, full of learnings, full of experiences. I've learned how to sweep a floor. I did not know how to do that when I was at home. So that also is a learning. The whole point is in the journey. And the question is not why entrepreneurship. I think that's a moot point. I'm not advocating that everybody needs to be an entrepreneur. There are like thousands of ways by which you can create an impact. But I think entrepreneurship is one of those things where you can create an impact which is bigger than you. Our whole lives, we are only concerned, we are only working towards creating an impact either on us or a very small set of people around us, our immediate families. And that's our circle of influence. That's about it. You earn a little bit more, who benefits? Your immediate family or you. You do a better project, who benefits? Maybe your immediate boss. That's about it. That's your circle of influence. But I think entrepreneurship is one thing that gives you an opportunity to create an impact that is far, far, far bigger than you. And I think that's the only purpose of our lives. We can all work towards fulfilling our dreams and aspirations, but if it does not result in an influence that is bigger than us, then it's a wasted life. I can proudly say today that we have impacted lives of 1.2 million developers all across the globe. We work with thousands of companies whose processes we make faster, better. We impact their lives in some ways. They depend on us in some ways. We add to their profit margins or we make their lives better. And I'm not, advocating you to be doing everything not for profit. Of course, Hackerearth is there to build a business to make money, but in the process, create an impact that is bigger than you. But that still is not, as I said, the main question. The question is, why us? And the answer to that is, this group of people sitting here today are probably the most privileged lot, one of the most privileged lot in this entire country. You are studying in one of the best institutes. You've got one of the best peer network. You've got an amazing faculty. You've got everything that people dream of having. So the question is, why not us? It's not why us. The question is, why not us? Because if it's not us, then who else? Because you're privileged that you can create that impact. There are millions of people in this country who do not even get that, 1/10 of the privilege that you have. And the bigger question than why us is why now? You could ask, can I not work 10 years, earn some money, have a comfortable lifestyle, and then do it? My answer is no. Starting up in college is probably the best time. You've got a roof over your head. You've got a mess that gives you food daily. I know it's not great, but you still got food. You don't have to pay bills. You don't have to worry about anything. And you've got the best network of people around you. My co-founder comes from the same college. He lived 3 doors next to me in the same dorm room. If I go out today and start looking for a co-founder, there's no chance in hell that I can get one. You're among the smartest and the brightest lot in this country. You've got everything that you need, everything that people dream of. So if it's not you, and if it's not now, then what's the point? Then there is really no point. You know, we all sit around in the evening when we go out with our friends to the canteen, and we sip our teas and eat whatever we want to eat, and we complain. We complain about things, how things are not right, about how the government is not giving what we should be getting, about how life is not fair to us, about how this doesn't work, about how that doesn't work. We all complain. But what do? We do absolutely nothing about it. We go back there every single day, complain, and then come back. We don't do anything. The topic of today's all these talks is the essence of a changing tomorrow. The thing about tomorrow and the thing about change, that both of them are constant. Time and change does not stop. In fact, change is the only constant. In our journey of 4.5 years, we've changed significantly. We started with something and we are doing something else today. So the change is the only constant. You need to embrace it sooner rather than later. And time does not stop, right? So the tomorrow is going to change. Now the question that you need to ask yourself is whether you are a cause for that changing tomorrow, or are you an effect of that changing tomorrow? You've got a chance to lead that change, or you've got an opportunity that you can miss and become an unwilling, unconscious part of that changing tomorrow, because the tomorrow is going to change. So I would like to end this talk with just one note at the end, that you can either be the change or you stop complaining. Because change is the only constant. Thank you.